What does selling as a woman mean for premium coaching clients when we're selling premium coaching offers in high ticket sales? What does selling as a woman in high ticket sales mean for not just the sales and coaching industry, but for our premium coaching clients? How does it support them at the highest level when we serve deeper as women? Hello, beautiful, and welcome to High Ticket Sales for Women in the Prosperous World. We're diving into a series called Selling as Women. You know, when we show up selling premium coaching offers, we are not just selling coaching. We're serving deeper at the highest level. And for our premium coaching clients, that means we as women ignoring everything we've been told is good selling and showing up with the compassion, the divinity, the skills, the experiences, the talents, the gifts that support us to do the work, to co-create at exponential levels, forgetting to always be closing, to remember always be human connecting. Always be connected. It's a human relationship because sales opens the door to the deeper relationship of the client, becoming all of who God says she is, having all of what God says she already has, and being all of who God says she is, just like we show up in our divinity of who God says we already are for our clients and the work that we're here to do in the world. Now, what does that mean in your premium coaching business? What is that human connection? It's really showing up to understand someone. You know, there are billions of people in the world and you have this one person in front of you. How do you really connect with her to understand what she wants? Instead of coming and telling her what she wants and what you have and how it's going to help her, understand, listening to her and see what does she really want? What is important to her? What is most useful to her right now? What is most valuable to her? What is going to support her to co-create that at the highest level? What is it the thing that she thinks she wants right now, and why does she want it? And why is the why that she wants it the most valuable thing to her right now in her parenting, her relationship, in her sex life, in her leadership, in her business, in her mindset, whatever it is that you coach on? And how can we help each other? How can I support her? And how does she support my business? How does me serving her deeper support my business goals, my assignment that God has sent me here for? And how does me supporting her with my talents, gifts, and my offer support her for who God is calling her to rise into right now? Okay? And as women, that is where we look at, that is where we come from. It's a duty of care that we start with. We start with a duty of care to see who is my person, who is my high-end coaching client, who is my premium coaching client, and does what I do support this particular client? What is her bespoke need? And does what I have support her to create the thing that she wants? And does what she wants allow me to grow in my own business and allow me to stretch myself into my own assignment so that we can both deliver at the highest level? Are we a great fit? Because we have a duty of care to not work with clients that are not a great fit with us, and we can have a duty of care to refer them to someone else, recommend another resource to them, so that we don't just take their money, because that is fraud and it's being out of integrity. And in the high ticket sales industry, we do that a lot, where we show up because we want to make people buy, we want to convince them, want to persuade them, and that's not what we're here for. It is a great fit. We know it's a great fit when it's a great fit. The client knows it is, and there's no objection to overcome. So every time you get to the point where you're trying to overcome objections, you're probably showing up out of integrity, because you are not showing up with energy of knowing what you're doing anyway, who your client is, what you're here to do for this person, and whether what you have can actually truly support this client. And when you're feeling that shaky and quaky, that's when the objections show up, because they don't trust themselves. And when they don't trust themselves, they cannot trust you. So how do you create that space? Not hold the space. Create the space for the client to trust herself. It's by creating a space that the client commands herself to step into, to ask for the sale, where you're not holding space for people to be all they can be. They already are who God says they are. They've chosen the thing and they step into that space. What does that look like? It means that we listen with content and context. We listen beyond what we're being told. And as women, that's one of our greatest gifts, is to listen beyond the obvious, to see what we're not being told, to see the elephant in the room that the client cannot even see, to see what the client has not seen, what the client has seen but is unwilling to bring up, what the client is unwilling to bring up that will support her to get to the next level, to see that gap that the client cannot see because she's in the bottle. So how do we do that? How do we listen for what's not being said without judgment and show up and not try. We don't have to agree with them, but we can listen, understand without trying to fit them into a skinny white jeans or agree with them. And as women, we have that special gift, and it's a superpower that most men come into sales trying to close the sale, trying to make them buy, trying to get them to buy, trying to get to the yes. And we as women have the capacity, because we have that built in us already as moms, as aunties, as wives, as whatever, to hold that peripheral vision to make sure that everything is aligned and going the way it needs to be in the best interest of not just our business and our money, but the client, okay? So what is the client ignoring in this conversation? What are they trying to not see? What are they seeing but having willful blindness about? And as women, we also have the ability to understand the thing that the client is thinking or feeling. We have that empathy. And that empathy is one of our greatest gifts. So how do we use that? I see a lot of women in high ticket sales pushing that aside because they want to be competitive and close the sale so they can go on social media and say, I made 8 figures in 8 minutes. No, slow down. How do we slow down and be for the client, that vessel that is God working through us? How do we slow down and source ourselves so that when we show up out into the world, we're fully sourced and don't need the validation, don't need the claps, don't need people to agree with us, don't need people to like us, don't need clients to like our comments or subscribe to our channel or whatever it is, but simply show up and serve for the people that we're here to serve. Because when we do that, then our messaging becomes clear enough for those who need to find us and recognize that they found us. It's one thing for the client to see you and not recognize that you're the thing, that you're the answer to the prayer that they're praying. So how can you have that clear channel where you show up with your gifts and divinity so the client knows, oh, where have you been all my life? I've heard all these things, but now you're speaking to me and you deeply understand where I'm coming from because you can see the context of what I'm saying and why it matters to me, why it's important to me, why it's valuable to me, why it's most useful to me, and why I want this yesterday. How can we show up and not sell to the clients that we've outgrown, and not sell things to the clients that the clients have outgrown 5 years ago? How can we show up and know that the same audience that we're selling $997 to, $997 offers to, is the same audience that we can sell $1 million coaching offer to? How can we step up and premium price our coaching so that we're selling $1 million coaching offers, expansive offers that clients look at and say, I am commanding myself to step into this because I've been waiting for this all my life. Nobody is talking down to me and telling me that I have to settle for a 10K offer or 25K offer or a result that is a 20K based result. So how do we show up and sell as women? With different perspectives, different takes on this. It's human relationships. It's talking to our clients by listening to them, asking the questions to support us to see, where is God leading this woman? Where is God leading this man? Where is God leading this person in their parenting, in their marriage, in their relationship? And how am I being a tool and a vessel for God in this relationship? And if it's not me being the tool, how can I refer them to someone who's the best tool for them, the best vessel for them to co-create on that journey? This is a duty, a standard duty of care that involves selling as women. That's the way we're going to start as we dive into the other 27 videos this month on selling as women. Let me know how this lands for you. And if you want to join this journey, hit subscribe and come back for the next one.